So, is anyone surprised that Grogu ended up choosing the armor over the lightsaber? Because I'm not. Like, let's be real. Like, he has such a strong connection with Mando. Like, there was no way he was going to choose the lightsaber and then proceed to force himself to forget Mando and, like, forsake all attachments to him. Like, come on. Especially when Mando specifically made armor for Grogu and brought it to him. Like, obviously he's gonna choose the armor. But before we go any further, what is up, my dudes, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, what's up? I am one creative ginger, and in this house we have incoherent and emotional rants about fictional content, all while dressed in cosplay. So, like and subscribe if you want to see more of this. So, of course, this episode starts off with Boba and Fennec at Garsa's cantina, or, you know, what's left of it after it got blown to bits. And Mando ends up meeting them there to tell them that Freetown is planning on maybe helping them. Yeah, then we switch gears to see a certain X-Wing landing at Peely's place, and it turns out Grogu picked the armor, and R2 was bringing him to Mando because obviously he chose the armor, you know. But yeah, and it's just so cute seeing Peely like interacting with Grogu, and she does roast him when she figures out what his name is, but it's okay because she calls him fancy and gives him food, and it's really cute, and she's great. And so then we switch back to Boba, who's sent all his allies around the city to, you know, wait for the Pikes to make a move, but then Cad Bane shows up and they try to negotiate, and during this whole thing, Bane reveals that the Pikes were actually the ones responsible for killing Boba's Tusken family, not those biker gang guys. Before Boba does anything stupid and emotional, Fennec is able to talk him down, and then Bane just fucks off, you know. So, yeah, but obviously, those crime families that promised to stay neutral, they don't, obviously, and they ambush all of Boba's allies that are just scattered around the city. Like, I still don't understand why he trusted them to stay neutral, but, you know, I guess, yeah, I don't know, that was really dumb on Boba's part. So, Fennec is able to save the cyborg kids, but the Gamorreans get pushed off a cliff, and Chrysanthemum gets just dogpiled by a bunch of Trandoshans, so, yeah. But yeah, so then the Pikes are slowly closing in on Boba and Mando, who are still at Garsa's cantina, and the Twi'lek ambassador is there, and he's like, you know what, I can help you negotiate with him. And Boba's like, alright. And so he writes down what he wants to be said on a tablet, and at first it seems like he's surrendering, but no. Turns out it's just a big old fuck you. Oh, a polite fuck you, to be fair, but fuck you nonetheless. And so before the Pikes can do anything, Boba and Mando end up flying out on their jetpacks. Ooh, and they just start blasting bitches left and right, and that was some good shit, because we haven't really seen much of the jetpacks, you know, or like, for instance, like what Boba's armor can really do. And he's got like knee missiles that he just like, pow, yeah. And it was so fun, and it was a great one too, because they were just taking out bitches, taking hits too. Like, they were both fine, and they took quite a beating too, because at the end of the scene they end up getting outnumbered a little bit, getting a little overwhelmed, but then the people of Freetown end up showing up to back them up, and then so do the cyborg kids, and Chrysanthemum, who, what? To be fair, he is having a tough time, but he did escape the Trandoshans somehow, and, you know, now they're all together. So they end up beating off the Pikes that are in the area, but these two gigantic, like, droideka looking droids show up, and they're huge. They're huge. So they try shooting those droids, or like blowing them up, or hitting them with the darksaber, for example, but none of that works. So the main group runs off, and one of the droids follows them, while Mando distracts the other one, and Boba goes to get reinforcements. Wonder who that could be. So during this, Chrysanthemum actually finds out if you shoot the shield enough in one spot, you can actually kind of stick your hand through it, and maybe your whole body, if you shoot it enough. But the droid catches on and just whacks him. And so the two main cyborg kids that we've met, they help Chrysanthemum up, and of course more Pikes show up. And this dude knew it was his time to shine, and he just went for it. I love how needlessly extra that little spin was as they, all fired on the Pikes. But yeah, so then Mando runs into Peely and Grogu. He's so happy to see his little green son, and Grogu's little jump into his arms was so cute because he just whoosh right in there. And we see, because that just proves even more that obviously he was going to choose the armor because he was so happy to see Mando. But yeah, so Boba then comes back with the reinforcements, and of course it's his new little Rancor buddy, and he's finally riding it, thank God. Oh, because it looks great. And they just both fuck up those droids. Mostly the Rancor, because, that's why Boba brought him in, So the Rancor fucks up the droids, and he ends up eating a Pike. Thank God. The whole time he's like fighting the Pikes as well. I was waiting for him to eat one. It took a while, but it was great when we saw him eat one. Oh, but then Cad Bane crashes the party, and he ends up scaring off the Rancor. So he and Boba can have their, standoff, finally. And Bane ends up shooting Boba, and it doesn't look too good for him, but then Boba uses his Tusken staff to just kick Bane's ass, and ultimately kill that bitch by stabbing him in the chest. But yeah, so then, of course, the Rancor's going on a rampage at this point, but Grogu is able to use his force powers to lull it to sleep, and then Grogu ends up laying down and cuddling with the Rancor and taking a nap with it, and it's so cute. So if you're wondering where Fennec's been this whole time, apparently we find out that she went to go find the Pike leader, the mayor, and all the crime lords. She went to find them and kill them. So that's where she was the whole time, because I was just watching this whole thing unfold, and I'm just like, Fennec is nowhere to be found. Where the hell is she? So yeah, she was just finishing the job, making sure the Pikes were dead, the mayor was dead, and the crime lords were dead, so they didn't have to deal with any of that. So yeah, then this episode ends on a positive note, which never happens in Star Wars, because we get to see Boba and Fennec walking around the city, and people are bowing and showing their respect to Boba. And it just ends with him and his new family, and it's just so sweet and nice, and it's just that it's an actual happy ending. I guess it doesn't totally end there, because we do get a scene where we see Grogu in Mando's ship. We also find out what happened to Cobb Vanth, because this whole time, whenever he was mentioned, half the time they were always just oh yeah, he's dead. Turns out he's in the Bacta tank, and it makes sense, because yeah, he's not gonna die from getting shot in the shoulder by Cad Bane. Let's be real. So that's basically how it ends. It still ends, positively. Oh, and a little detail that I'm glad that they fixed, because the last time we saw that cyborg guy that was, fixing Fennec, and now is, working on, or I guess helping Vanth somehow. I don't know. But remember the music and how awful it was? They changed it so it was a lot better. This fit a lot better. So I'm glad that they actually did change the music to fit Star Wars a little bit more. I am sad that we didn't get a rematch between Cad Bane and Fennec Shand, but that kind of makes me think that we're gonna get one probably in the second season of The Bad Batch. And speaking of the second season of The Bad Batch, I've been hoping that Boba and Omega were gonna meet, but I think if that's gonna happen, it's also gonna happen in The Bad Batch, because I haven't heard anything about a second season for the Book of Boba Fett, but we do have the Bad Batch season 2 coming. But if the Book of Boba Fett does end up getting a second season, which I do hope it does, because I would like to see more Boba and Fennec too. But I would like to see some clones in there, and hopefully also Boba bonding with his like little rancor buddy. Like, I want to see that. It looks like such a fun thing to watch, and we didn't really get to see that because this show was so damn short. This is 7 episodes, like. But yeah, I really enjoyed watching this show, and I am glad that it ended on a positive note, because, you know, that doesn't happen all that often in Star Wars. And I do wish it had more episodes so we could have seen more of Boba and Fennec, because it did feel like it just like came and went way too quick. And then, you know, Mando and Grogu kind of stole the show for a bit, you know, but like, I'd like to see more of Boba. I'd like to see him do shit. But honestly, I think if we're gonna see them again, it's probably gonna be in Mando. So we probably will see him again, just not in his own show. But like, all in all, this was a fun thing to watch. I enjoyed myself. I thought it was fun to see Boba be more of like a person, because we got to see him be more fun. Like, he was having fun with his Tusken family. He was having fun petting his new rancor, you know. I just had a fun time watching this. But yeah, so that's basically all I have to say about the season finale of the Book of Boba Fett. If you guys have any thoughts and feelings about this, share all that good shit in the comments down below. If you're interested in following me on other social media, I post art and cosplay related content on my Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, if you'd like to get weird with me. So if you enjoyed this video, why don't like, subscribe, and smack that bell if you'd like to see more of my face every Saturday when I post a new video. And don't forget to stay sparkly, my dudes!